I just dropped my Sunday video here with the. Sorry, it's a bumpy road here. Just dropped my Sunday video there about a 1973 Chevy Square Body short bed, which I've never had a short bed before, so that was really cool. And I've actually never had a four-wheel drive square body, which is kind of unusual. I got both in the same combo there, but so that was a pretty fun truck there, fun little video. I picked that up in Montana and I brought it all the way back to Oklahoma. So pretty capable rig already, how it sits there. Definitely some. I bought it from somebody. They obviously were using it for a wheeling rig at some point because the doors are, smashed in basically, probably doing some trail stuff where you get off the trail and it kind of beats the side of a wall or something like that. So, and you can kind of see it drag down the sides there. So when I had originally looked at it online there, I thought, well, this thing is so rough that I can just basically buy it and not have to worry about, beating up the body, and I'll just take it out trail wheeling. So I was just going to basically give it a tune up and kind of render it and use it. It actually has studded tires on it. So I kind of wanted to keep it for a couple of months and get through winter. And then the couple days a year we have ice on our hill, I could still get up and down if I need to. So that was kind of what I was thinking there, but then I found some other little problems. I don't know if it's actually a problem or not, but so I was just kind of working on it. But I was figured see what you guys think of, like some cheap trail rigs here. That was probably an exceptional deal. So when I got it, I ended up thinking I was just gonna basically not care about it. But then I got looking deeper into it, and actually the bed could easily be saved. It's actually all the body mounts are still in good tack. It can get like good condition, and needs rockers, cap corners, fenders, and doors. So, which is almost every square body in the planet, I feel like these days. So really not that bad. It could actually be made a really nice truck for probably fairly sensible price, but I just don't know if I have the time to go down that road. So yeah, I'm just thinking about other trail rigs there. It'd be nice to have a second one because I don't know if I trust this one to go up by myself, and I don't really know anybody in my area. I'm fairly new to the area here, so kind of thinking of maybe getting a second trail rig. And I thought I'd ask you guys if anybody's online to see what other cheap trail rigs would be good. I'm kind of thinking something under like $2,000, basically. I'm actually been looking for some different ones. I have a couple ideas. There's some pretty cool older trail rigs out there right now. That I guess probably the budget way to do it, if you're on a budget, would be to get something that already has good ground clearance. Like the square body does have really good ground clearance. I'm actually really surprised when I went up some of those hills that have like a sharp incline that it didn't bottom out. Um, so I'm thinking of some older ones, like there was like International Scouts, International Scout 2s, Evelyn, um, some things like that. There's I don't know, like shorter wheelbase stuff. There's some even like newer stuff, which I'm not really as much into the newer stuff, but I know there's some pretty capable. What's up, Lux? So there's some pretty capable, even like modern stuff. I know like OBS trucks, they get around really good. I mean, for wheeling around and stuff like that, those are pretty cheap. You could probably get one for under $2,000. I actually had that four-wheel drive one there, but it needed a head gasket. Seems to be the story of my life lately here. Um, I'm thinking something like that, just kind of looking for some ideas or whatever. I'd like to take what's up, Bean? Just kind of looking for some ideas on a cheap trail rig. I know like Geo tractors, they're nice and short wheels. They don't get hung up real easy. They have decent ground clearance, and you could put a decent sized tire on them without having to mess around too much. But I don't think, unless somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think they have a high and low transfer case. So that could be a problem. Um, I don't know. There's like older like Land Rovers and Range Rovers and stuff like that you can buy for cheap, but they're kind of unreliable, and it would basically just be like a trail beater, and then you might have a hard time selling it. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I said, probably some of the older Ford trucks, I would imagine I don't know if the Ford trucks had like locking differential. Like this one's got this square body I have has a 12 bolt in it. It I think it actually has a limited slip front, which is interesting. I didn't think they even made them in those years, but that's what it looks like to me. Thanks, Bean. So yeah, I'm just kind of thinking what I can kind of get if I'm going to keep this thing for a little while, what I can get for so we could take two four wheelers out at the same time, I guess. And something that's like I said, I don't get all wrapped up in money onto these projects. I don't want to be doing that kind of stuff. So thanks, Peanut. Appreciate it. So I'm thinking of going on a buying spree, buying. I sold a whole bunch of projects lately. I still don't have a shop yet. It's been a whole ordeal. I chopped my gas line in half the other day trying to trying to scrape around and clean up around. So I don't really have a shop, but I have enough space for. That's partially why I want to get something shorter. Even like a Jeep, I'd be interested in. I saw a Jeep Commander the other day. It was a mid 70s Jeep Commander for like 2 grand. I thought that was a pretty good deal. What's up, Epic? What's everybody up to this Sunday? Anybody here have any trail rigs that you got for cheap that would be some ideas? I like GM stuff or like maybe not GM, but just like generic like Chev, Ford, Dodge, because you can get a lot of parts on marketplace for them if you want to get like bigger wheels and tires and stuff like that. You can basically just buy them on rims already, so it's a lot easier to find them. One thing I didn't think about when I bought the square body was the front hubs on them are bigger than a regular 6 bolt wheel. So I thought I'd be able to update the wheels on it and put like a, like a newer truck wheel on or whatever. Well, apparently their holes are way smaller on the new ones. And I thought some of them were like that. I didn't realize all of them were like that. So I can't really change the wheels unless I custom ordered wheels for this thing, which is kind of sucks a little bit. But so I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just kind of looking at some ideas here. If anybody's got some 4 wheel rigs or whatever. It's kind of funny to think these days if you were to buy like a used razor or something like that, you're gonna pay even like an older one, you're pretty much 5-6 grand for anything in any kind of decent shape. Well, you can actually buy a nicer off-road vehicle for less than that. So I don't know. Something different. We got quite a bit of trails around here. It's kind of nice that you could just drive it right to where you want to go off-roading a little bit and play around and then drive it back instead of having to load it on a trailer and things like that. So I saw some weird things, but I don't think they'd necessarily be good off-roading things. Would be like a Subaru Brat. I've been interested in those things for a while just because they're just kind of unique or whatever. Um, but I don't know. There's a lot of 4 wheel drive stuff out there that you could do for trail rigs, but it's like I said, a couple thousand or less is kind of what I'm looking for. Is something that I could use on the channel, fix up, and then get out of it or whatever. Once I'm done with it, and if I can't find something, I don't know. I might just I'm on the fence about it, but I might sell the square body. I'm not sure here if somebody's interested in it. I'm not going to give it away because I think if I fixed up the body and painted everything, I think it's a $10,000 truck. So I don't really want to. I don't really want to give it away for cheap or whatever. But I also hauled it all the way home from Montana, and it obviously does need work and things like that. So I wouldn't be asking a pal for it, um, but it would kind of honestly, I'm just not really that big of a 4 wheel drive guy to begin with. So I don't know. Um, I'm just kind of thinking something outside of my wheelhouse here a little bit, trying to kind of learn some stuff and whatever. I looked into the specs of the transfer case and that thing. It's got an MP205 in it, and so it's shiftable, high and low range or whatever. And it's got locking hubs, which is kind of cool. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what else there is out there for some cheap trail rigs or whatever. What's up, Epic? Um, but I'm just kind of looking at some different ideas here. Like I said, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I look around, but I'm usually looking for cars. I'm always trying to buy like kind of more like muscle type cars or V8 cars, things like that. So I'm always just more on the car side of things. So I've had a few, well, I've had lots of 4 wheel drive stuff. I've had a few OBS trucks that were 4 wheel drive and they got around really well, especially just honestly, all they really need is a set of mud tires, and they that wakes them right up. So um, a little bit of lift on them, and then they really rock and roll. But they have a long wheelbase, so then that turns into that. I guess you. I don't know if you'd find a short bed for under 2 grand in an OBS truck these days. They're kind of pretty hot in the market or whatever right now. So I don't actually, to be honest, I don't know if the last time I really saw a short bed OBS that was a regular cab. You see lots of like standard cab ones. You probably get one of those for like under 2 grand. But um, so that's this week's ordeal, anyways. There, I have to go home and fix my gas line. Well, at least bury it, anyways. It's all fixed now and hooked back up. But it's been raining at home, so I need to get that thing buried back up. Just waiting on some fill for it because it was full of rocks. So, but yeah, I took that square body out, played in the yard there a little bit and stuff, and like I said, it seems like it runs pretty decent. It's got good power. I didn't force it, but I couldn't get it to go into 2-wheel drive or low range or whatever. Um, oh, there's a what's up, Bliss? So I like the older Jeeps, like no, I don't know. Like I know there's like a lot of older Jeeps, like I mean, I say older, but they're getting older now, like TJs and YJs and things like that. Were supposed to be pretty decent. Um, and even if you get more into like the 70s type stuff there or whatever, um, they're there's a lot of 4-wheel drive vehicles in those, but most of them are longer wheelbase. Has anybody ever had an International Scout? There's a lot of Scout twos around for sensibly priced that are running and driving. Right now, I don't want to really get into like non-running projects, mostly because I don't really have the space to work on them right now. So I don't, I just don't want to get on a giant project. That's part of the reason I don't really want to mess with the head gasket on the square body. I don't even know if it's that. To be honest, it almost looks like somebody just poured oil in the radiator by accident or something. Because I don't see any bubbling. Didn't seem like it went down. I ran it for quite a while there. Didn't really seem like it went down, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but it runs good. It definitely smokes a little bit, but that could just be because it's been sitting around for so long. Could have some old gas and everything else in it there. Um, so yeah, just kind of looking and seeing what the deal is here. What's out there? Have got any project vehicles they want to sell? I'd be interested in that. 86. What's up, Beard? Got an 86 Suburban square body and a 92 two-door Blazer on 37s. Yeah, that get around pretty good. So the Blade, that's interesting. A 92 Blazer. Weren't they Tahoes already by 92? I thought they had already changed to Tahoes. Actually, I don't really see those tons around, but to be fair, I'm not really searching them up either. But those Tahoes actually were pretty cool too. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Like I don't know how big of a tire you could fit without lifting it. There's a lot of course, they're getting older now, so there's a lot of already lifted vehicles, but a lot of older vehicles, or I mean, just some of these trucks in general, they already have a lot more clearance. Like actually, the square body doesn't really have the greatest clearance for just being like a factory older truck like that. I know some of the long beds seem like they had more clearance than the short bed for some reason or another. I don't really know why, but I I don't think I could fit 33s on this truck without lifting it. If it did, it would probably rub a little bit, I would suspect. But I know there's a lot of other vehicle. I mean, honestly, look like a modern truck there. I mean, modern truck, you're basically like, people put 35s on them all the time, and there's room to spare. So I don't think, depending on the year of vehicle or whatever it is, there's a lot of like. It seems like Dodges, for example, have like more ground clearance right from the get-go for some reason or another. I don't know what it is, but they seem like they got more clearance. I know there's like some I've been seeing some older power wagons. I'm I've always been a Chevy guy, but I'm starting to get interested in some different brands. I just to try some different things out. You had to cut the front bumpers on your Blazer. Interesting. Just for the clearance of the tires or what? 37 is pretty big. Yeah, I've definitely never seen well, I don't remember there being Blazers in 92. Like I said, I thought they had all switched already by then. It's actually some of the smaller vehicles even got around pretty decent. Like I know for shorter wheelbase type things there, like you could get like some of the S10, S15, GMC Jimmys, Blazers, stuff like that. Uh, that's funny. I'm driving a Dodge right now, but I'm a Chevy guy. I've had all sorts of stuff over the last 5 years here: Ford, Dodge, Chev, whatever. Um, I'll try anything just for fun, whatever. So I don't mind to get something if it's the right price. I'll buy anything, I guess. But I've tried all of them. The Dodge, I've got a Ram, I guess whatever it is, 16 Ram, like Callus Rose Rough. It's like a 16 Ram right now. It's deleted and all that stuff, whatever, allegedly in Mexico. But it's definitely the best on fuel I've ever had, and it's only a 6-speed in it, which is still it's a 6-speed automatic too. And usually those aren't the best for fuel mileage, but definitely gets it'll get like I got a truck camper on it and pulling like 10,000 pounds, it would get like 13, 12 kind of thing. So yeah, 37-inch lift. Yeah, that's pretty serious. You see them lots. I think about 3-inch lifts on a lot of trucks. It seems like a common lift. I think because you can basically do like a shackle lift on a 3-inch, and then what do? They do the torsion bar turn or whatever. Again, I'm not a 4-wheel drive guy, so I don't have a clue. But I'm pretty sure just the cheap way to do it is like turn the torsion bar key like 3 or something like that. I remember guys always saying. And a Subaru sounds like my life. Yeah, that's what I was saying. What kind of Subaru? It's probably like an Outback or something random like that. I always thought it'd be fun to just go wheeling around with some of those all-wheel drive Subarus or whatever. But maybe not rock climbing, but just trail ripping would be fun in those things. But I don't know. There's like I said, there's a lot of vehicles that don't have the clearance without some sort of a lift to put decent sized tires on it. So that would be the biggest problem. I was always curious how those little mini trucks would get around, like those Daihatsus or whatever they call them, because they got really short wheelbases. And I know I've seen people put like ATV tires on those things. Oh yeah, Crosstrek. Those aren't too bad. Like all these modern cars don't really turn my crank too much anymore, but a person always still needs something reliable for a daily, especially if you're driving in mountain time. The women always want something nice too. But yeah, so I'm just kind of thinking of what to get next or whatever. I have a 24-foot trailer, so I was thinking something short too, because I could haul probably two smaller short wheelbase vehicles if I could get something that's like 12 feet or less, which is a little bit tricky, but something like that. I could go pick up two at a time and then maybe get my wife to drive something else home, like project. So I'd like to go pick up like another 5 vehicles and have another 5 in the queue for some work. Got my Camaro there that I need to do something with at some point. I suppose I should probably check that sooner than later. Need to order some parts for it too, I guess. It needs exhaust. That's why I haven't driven it in like a year. Um, and then yeah, but 4-wheel drive, that's all I really have right now other than this truck. So I don't want to like take it out by myself. So if I'm gonna keep it for a little bit and try to fix some stuff and I'm gonna actually wheel it around. It was fun the day. I live over in Oklahoma right now from Canada actually, but moved down to Oklahoma, escaped lots of stuff like bad weather. Actually, it's been a pretty mild winter coming in there already compared to usual, but lots of times by this time of year it's already minus 30. Where are you at? So yeah, it was funny because you really need. Oh yeah, nice. We used to go there quite a bit because got family out there in SoCal and stuff like that, so we've been there tons. But yeah, I was actually looking at some vehicles there in the last couple of days, just checking out some different vehicles. Of course, everything they claim is rust free there, but actually that last square body that I did was from California, and that was probably some of the worst rust that I've seen in a long time for vehicles. What part of Cal are you in? Southern or northern? Seems like the northern parts kind of got the nicer areas and things. It's not so crowded up there. We stayed up by Lodi, California for about a month, a couple years back there. Actually, when we moved down from Canada, that's where we stayed. That's funny. Are you in Southern California or Northern California? Oh yeah, nice. Up by like I was actually one of my videos there. I took my car to the track up in man, what is that one? It's up. We pass all the oil rigs and everything to get to it. It was Hot Rod Garage Day last year, I guess. I took my Camaro up there for that. Okay, cool.